Story time on how my auntie's baby daddy touched on me and nobody believed me and left me in a motherfucking mental hospital. So, for a little bit of backstory, my mom lost custody over me and my two younger siblings in 2019. I was 11 years old, my mom was a drug addict, and she was not mentally, physically, or emotionally there to take care of us. We were homeless and we were staying in a hotel, but before we stayed in the hotel with my mom, we were staying with one of my friends, me and my two younger siblings. And when we moved back with my mom in the hotel room, two of my aunties, and my nana came to get us. They came up to me and my siblings' school, pulled us out of school, and took us back to the hotel room with my mom and told us to get all of our shit because we were not going to be with my mom no more. After that, we started staying with my auntie. We're going to name her Fake. So when we started living with my auntie Fake, everything was good. I'm not going to lie. Like, I can't hold you. When we were staying with her in the beginning, everything was fine. She was really like a mother figure to me that I never had. Mind you, I never had a mother or a father figure growing up. When we first started staying with her, she was roommating with her ex little boo thing or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It was a 2-bedroom. She had her room. The dude had his room. Me and my two younger siblings slept on an air mattress in the living room. Once that lease was up, we finally got our own place. It was a 2-bedroom, and it was just me, my auntie, and my two younger siblings. My auntie and her baby daddy started dating March 25th, 2019. Before that, in the beginning, she would never really bring us around him, but then it was this one day, I guess he had his two daughters or whatever, and she was like, I want to take y'all to meet him and his daughters or whatever. My siblings was cool with it. I was cool with it. We met him and his kids. It was no issues. Fast forward, we move into our apartment, the 2-bedroom like I just said. He moved in with us. I don't know what was the reason, but what I was told was because my auntie could not take care of the bills by herself. I don't know if that's the case, but shit. I never thought that he would touch me inappropriately or do anything like that because I looked at him as a father figure. And y'all might be asking, what made you think that? What made you think that he was a father figure? For one, the nigga would take us to doctor's appointments, to school. The nigga would buy us clothes, shoes. I thought that, you feel me, that's what a father figure is supposed to fucking do. I used to go through a lot of mental challenges because of the trauma with my mom. I was already essayed when I was 10, living with my mom, and I was traumatically fucked up because of my mom. So yes, I went through depression. Yes, I was self-harming. Yes, I did not want to fucking live no more. Fast forward, it's 2020. School just ended, shut down because of COVID, and I just turned 13. My birthday is March 8th. I remember this day like it was vivid. Me, my little sister, and his two daughters, and him was all in him and my auntie's room. We were watching something on the TV. I can't remember what the fuck was on the TV, but we were watching something on the TV. And mind you, I used to get in trouble a lot because I used to want to date girls, and I wasn't even fucking with niggas at the time. I was on the girls. I was gay as fuck. And my auntie, I just used to get in trouble a lot because of shit that I shouldn't have been doing. He asked my little sister and his two daughters to get out the room so he could talk to me. Mind you, I'm thinking I'm in trouble. I'm like, fuck, what the fuck did I do now to get in motherfucking trouble? Because like I said, I was in trouble all the motherfucking time. So they get out the room. He closes the door and he locks it. I'm standing up at this point. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what did I do? Because, like I said, I used to get in trouble a lot. So I'm like, what the fuck did I do? What the fuck do you have to talk to me about? And he's like, oh, it's okay. I just want to chill with just you. You can lay back down, da-da-da. In my head, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, okay. So I lay back down on my auntie's side, but I wasn't laying all the way fucking down. I was sitting the fuck up like this. So we're still watching whatever the fuck is on the TV, and I'm starting to get uncomfortable, but he won't let me get out the room. So we start laying there, and he starts rubbing on me. He starts rubbing on my back first, and when he was rubbing on my back, he made it to my titty and started rubbing on my motherfucking titty. And that point of time, I was froze, because like I said, I was already essayed when I was 10 living with my mom. So in my head, I'm like, fuck, what do I do? I felt paralyzed. I could not fucking move. I did rubbing on my back to my titty to him fingering me. I couldn't do nothing. I laid there. I couldn't move. I couldn't get up. I couldn't say nothing. I was just stuck right there. I couldn't do shit. Like, I felt so worthless. I felt defeated. Like, I couldn't do anything. After he got done fingering me, I got the fuck up because I was scared. I didn't know what to do because, like I said, I looked at him as a father figure. I never looked at him as attractive. I never looked at him sexually. I never looked at him like that. He was a father figure to me. I used to call this man dad, and I used to call my auntie mom. So he comes behind me, and he's like, "Can I pull these down?" I'm like, "No," and I push him away, and I get the fuck out, and I go to my room. After I went to my room, I swear to God, I did not come out of my room for the rest of that day. I did not leave my room. I felt worthless. I felt disgusted. I wanted to fucking die. I wanted to kill myself. I did not want to live no more. So after I had went to my room and I did not come out of my room no more, before my auntie had got home from work, he had came to my room and he was like, "Oh yeah, don't even think about telling anybody because nobody's gonna believe you. Everybody knows that I'm not that type of person. And if you were to ever tell anybody, I'm going to separate you and your siblings." Now, everybody knew at the time, my siblings were everything to me. My two younger siblings was my whole entire world. Like, when I say me and my two younger siblings, they went to hell and back with each other. Like, me and my siblings, like, we were close. Like, we were hella close. Like, so, of course, me not wanting to lose my siblings, and like I said, I was essayed when I was 10, and no, when I finally spoke up about being essayed when I was 10, no, my mom didn't believe me. My mom told me to kill myself. So, him telling me that, I'm like, nobody's going to believe me. Nobody's going to believe me, and I'm going to be separated from my siblings. So, I stayed quiet for 3 years. I didn't say... No, I think it was like 2.5, almost 3 years. I did not say anything. I didn't say nothing. But during this time, I'm mentally destroying myself. Because I'm in a house every motherfucking day with a nigga that touched on me. That made my depression 10 times worse. I was self-harming 2 or 3 times a day. I was doing shit that it wasn't me. I wasn't myself. I wasn't happy. I wasn't any of that. My only escape was school. I would do sports. I would do anything to distract myself. I was a honor student, avid. I was like, school was my distraction. It came a point where it was summertime and my school had like this summer program for whether if you needed credits or you just needed to get out the house during summer. And my case was I needed to get the fuck about that house during the summer. I had every credit that I need. I was a straight A student. Like, I had everything that I needed. I just needed to get the fuck about that house. Like I said, I was big in sports. So, me and 2 of my friends at the time, we were playing volleyball. And I had got hella hot, forgetting that I had cuts on my wrist. I took my jacket off, and my guidance counselor had seen that I had cuts on my wrist. And he had asked me, he said, "What is that?" And I tried to lie to him. I said, "Oh, the dog scratched me and I had scraped my arm on the wall." He knew I was lying. And I'm not going to lie, that man saved me. I swear to God, he saved me. He took me to his office and he was like, "Naee, I know that what you said happened did not happen. I know those are cuts from self-harm. Come back for part 2. Story time on how my auntie's baby daddy touched on me. Nobody believed me and left me in a mental hospital, part 2. I just want to start off and say thank you for all the love and support that I have been getting on part 1. Also, I want to say my intention was to never post this on TikTok or anything like that. I posted this because he keeps watching my TikTok, and since you want to keep watching my TikTok, I'm going to give you something to watch. And not to mention, I did text my auntie and let her know. And she never texted me back, so I don't give a fuck. I left off at the part where I said my guidance counselor had noticed the cuts on my arm. And he had took me to his office. And he was like basically saying, like, I know what that is. Now, me and my guidance counselor, we were close. Like, me and all my counselors at my school, we were close. So, like, he gave me the choice. He was like, you could either tell your aunt yourself, and when you come back to school tomorrow, I'm going to find out if you told her or not, and if you did not tell her, I'm going to tell her myself. So I was like, okay, I'll tell her. So I went home that day, and me and my auntie used to go on like little mile runs / walks around our apartment complex. So we were on a run or something like that, and I had told her, I was like, I'm depressed. My auntie proceeded to say I wasn't depressed, my little brother was, and yeah. So boom, then she ended up finding out. I believe he told her. After she found out, she made me a therapy appointment with a psychiatrist and shit like that. My first appointment, I didn't even get to talk to him or anything like that. He just could tell that I was not okay. And I got sent to my first hospital. Now, when I got sent to my first hospital, it was weird. Like, it was weird as fuck. I had got into it with my roommate that first day because, for one, I'm mixed, I look white, and first of all, you're not going to disrespect me. That's all. The whole time I was in there, I barely got to talk to my auntie, and when I did get to talk to her, he wanted to talk, and he got mad because I did not want to talk to him, and he hung up on me. So boom, fast forward, I get out the hospital. After I got out the hospital, I kept going back and forth because, like I said, like my mental, like, I really did not want to live no more. Like, I was over it. Like, I tried to kill myself, all different types of stuff. Like, I just did not want to live anymore. So, just to mention, every time that I'll come home from these hospitals, the vibe in the house will be weird. My siblings wouldn't talk to me. Nobody in the house really talked to me. It was weird. We're going to fast forward to when I told my auntie. I had literally just got out the hospital. This was the longest time period that I was out of the hospital and I didn't go to another hospital. I was out for like 2 weeks, but I was scheduled to already go to a long term because they declared my mental to not to be stable. Because I kept going back and forth, like, yeah. So I was already scheduled to go to a long term. So she and the dude, her baby daddy, had called me into the room and they was like, we're thinking about giving you your phone back. You've been doing really good. Da-da-da. Not to mention they had me sleeping in the living room because it was cameras in there. And, like, the hospital had told them, like, they had to come in my room and check up on me every 15 minutes type shit. They was like, no, made me sleep on the couch, not in my own bed. Mind you, I had a bed, I had my own room. So I just break out crying. And I just started crying. And I told my auntie, I was like, I have to talk to you, but alone. She was like, do you want to go to the car and talk? Like, I'm crying, I'm bawling my eyes out. So she's like, are you okay? Like, what's wrong? So we go to the car, me and her, and we're sitting there. She's like, what do you need to talk to me about? And I'm like, touch me. And I'm crying, I'm bawling my eyes out, and I'm like, she's like, what? Mind you, when I had told her, her reaction was like she gave a fuck. She acted like she cared. So after I told her, she sent me to my auntie's house. Her sister. So my auntie Faye sent me to my other auntie's house. The same auntie that came to pick us up in part 1 when we got taken away from my mom. And I had stayed over there for like a day or two. Mind you, like I said, I was already scheduled to go to long term. So it was like a waiting list. Any day I could have been called to go to the hospital. So I was just waiting on a bed to open up, I guess, or something. So the auntie house that she had taken me to, I ended up could not stay there no more. And my auntie had took me to her friend's house. When she picked me up to go to her friend's house, she had I couldn't even go back to the house. I couldn't grab anything that I wanted. I couldn't grab my stuff. Anything like that. She had a bag already packed for me, and I was not going back to that house after that. She took me to her friend's house, and mind you, her friend, like, her house was, like, not okay. But I only stayed over there one night at the friend's house. And then the next day, I got called to go to the hospital. So now it's the day that I have to go to the hospital, and she picks me up, and, like, she's telling me, like, I love you, like, I'ma come visit you. Mind you, at the hospital, I could have my own hygiene, my own clothes. Like, it was a long-term facility, but you were able to have your own clothes, like, stuff like that, you know? So she's telling me all of this stuff. We finally get to the hospital. They admit me. The stuff that she packed, most of the stuff that she packed, I could not wear at the hospital, like leggings, crop tops, like stuff like that, like tight stuff and shit with strings and hoodies. I was not allowed to wear it. Most of the stuff she brought, I could not wear. So boom. After she dropped me off at the hospital, my auntie would not answer the phone like that. And when she would, we would not be on the phone more than like 3 minutes, probably. Never came to visit me, not once. Never brought more clothes that I could actually wear. Never brought no hygiene. Never picked me up for an outing, a family date, none of that. My auntie has never, she left me in there. Fast forward to my therapist convincing my auntie to come in for a therapy session. So before the family session even came about, it was close to my release date. Mind you, I've already been in here for like a year. So it's close to my release date, and they're trying to figure out if I'm going back with my auntie or if my auntie does not want me no more. But at the time, I didn't know this. The hospital, they were talking to my auntie, deciding if I was going to go back with her or I was either going to wait till I turned 18 and age out of the facility or go to foster care. So what they told me was my auntie did not want me back at the house because I was fighting a lot, and like I said, I was doing a lot of shit out of anger. Like, I didn't have anybody, and in my head, I didn't have shit to lose, so I don't give a fuck. Let's ball. So after she had told me that if I was to fix my behavior and if I was to stop fighting and I was to actually work on myself, that I could go home. And when I tell you, I switched everything. I stopped fighting. I stopped disrespecting staff. I was doing my program. I was taking my meds. Like, I was doing everything that I was supposed to do. So I knew that my grandma would be passing away soon because, like, she had cancer, and, like, I've already known that. So, mind you, I didn't talk to my family for a good month or two. They called me and told me that my auntie Fake called me and told me that my grandma passed away. And after that, I didn't hear from nobody. And I called my nana, and my nana was the only person I talked to for real, but my nana, like, we barely even talked for real. So after they told me that my grandma passed away from cancer, I fell back into a deep depression, and my mental was rocky, but I ended up fixing it, and I was still set for my release date. Now, when it came to my release date, when it got close to it, they told me that I was not going back home. And that shit broke me, because the only reason why I wanted to go back home was because my little sister, my little brother. Come back for part 3.